In the first video, we built the container. Now we are going to make the mix that's actually going to feed the plants. And I want to start with something I see a lot online, the classic coco coir, perlite and vermiculite mix. You've probably seen it and it's good, but mostly for seed starting. Because for seedlings you want something light, fine, well-draining, that stay moist without getting waterlogged. The seed already has its first reserves, so the mix doesn't need to do much heavy lifting nutritionally. But here I'm not just germinating seeds. I want to grow tomatoes and eggplants for several months in a tot on my balcony. So I need to keep that structure, but I need to add food. And that's where compost comes in. Because compost is what actually feeds the whole mix. So my recipe is roughly 30% old potting soil, 30% mature compost, 20% coco coir and 10% perlite or vermiculite. And if you think in parts, 2 parts old potting soil, a good part of compost, 1 part coco and a small part of perlite or vermiculite. I didn't make a huge batch here, but you can scale up or down depending on how much you need. And this is especially great if you are growing in pots, because you can reuse your old spent potting soil every season and just give it a boost. Now let me break down what each one does. Old potting soil, this is your base. It's basically free since it's probably just sitting in your old pots from last year. Now by itself it's exhausted. It's dead soil, but we are going to reactivate it with everything else we are adding. In this mix it becomes the perfect foundation. Mature compost, that's the food, that's what the plants are going to eat. Coco coir, it holds moisture and lightens the mix. It stops it from getting too dense and heavy. Perlite or vermiculite, it keeps the mix airy. It stops the whole thing from compacting over time. If you are using a compressed brick like me, here is what you can do. Add water slowly, let it absorb and it expands a lot. Start with less water than you think you need, mix it, then adjust. You want the final texture to be moist and loose, not soaking wet. And if you squeeze a handful, it should stay in a bowl but not drip water. That's the sweet spot. And once the mix is in, I finish with mulch. In a tot, the soil dries out faster than in the ground, so mulch matters. You can use dry leaves, straw or turnip brown cardboard. And it makes a real difference for moisture retention. So to sum it up, with the 13 euros tots, the reused potting soil, plus the recovered organic materials and just a portion of compost, the whole setup ends up costing a lot less than a ready-made planter or a wooden raised bed filled with brand new potting soil. And if you missed the previous video, you can check it here. That's where I show how I turned a simple storage bin into a mini raised bed. Now tell me in the comments, what will you add to this mix for tomatoes and eggplants? Compost, worm castings, organic fertilizer or something else? I'm genuinely curious to compare what you use.